Welcome those of you who have chosen to continue pursuing trigonometry. It's good to see you. First thing I want to show you, this is where we left off. We have the angle of depression, the angle of elevation. Elevation is in the triangle, depression is outside. However, these are equal to each other. So what we're going to do is we're just going to practice reading some word problems using the terminology that they have. I want you to look right here. These are the steps you need to do. Draw a picture, label the parts, set up the trig ratios. This file is in Schoology. I hope you've already downloaded it. If not, pause a minute and go get it. Alright, so the first one, they already gave us the picture. I want you to go ahead and do this one yourself, and then come back and check and see if you had the right answer. Since we had opposite and adjacent, that's tangent. The opposite side was the height of the building, and the adjacent side was the distance away from the building. And you'll notice that I wrote A tan, because that's what matches your calculator. Your calculator says A tan. Good job. So I hope you were successful there. If you were not, go fix it. Now, where we're at is we don't get to have the picture. Now we have to draw the picture from the top of a tower. So we know that towers are tall. The angle of depression to a stake on the ground. So here's our stake. I'm going to put a little flag on it. The angle of depression goes down from the horizon. This is your horizon. So the angle of depression is going to go down from there. So we're going to swing down 60 degrees. I should have drawn this before that's good enough. There we go. So when we swing down 60 degrees, we leave the angle inside at how many degrees? 30 is correct because together they make 90 degrees. We also know that we made 90 degrees with the ground. The top of the tower is 80 feet above the ground. How far is the stake away from the foot of the tower? So foot bottom of the tower. So we want to know what that is. Well, here's 30. We have the adjacent side and we have the opposite side. Therefore, we're going to use tangent again. This time, it's going to be 30 degrees. We know what the angle is. And that's going to be x over 80. Since we're just solving for x, we're going to multiply both sides by 80. And we will get our answer. Go ahead and throw that in your calculator. Make sure you're checking that your sine, cosine, and tangent are correct. $46.118 what? What are our units? Feet. Good job. Our units stay the same, so since they gave us feet, we get feet. Do example number 3, please, and then come back and check your work. How'd you do? Now, I want to try and elevate your mathematics. Some of you may be a little confused right here because I didn't go through the whole process of the proportion. The reason is we want to be able to see over time that the same thing happens algebraically every time we do a certain activity. So for example, every time the variable is in the denominator, I can swap it with whatever is on the other side of the equation. And this applies to all algebra. It doesn't matter how much is on the other side of the equation. As long as the variable is in the denominator, I can always swap these. So you'll notice that the 7 stayed where it was, but the question mark and cosine 30 swapped places. If you did the math proportionally, you got the same answer. If you chose sine instead of cosine, remember you should always have SOHCAHTOA somewhere nearby, so you don't make that mistake. We obviously do not have the height of the house. It's not asking us for that. It's asking us for the ladder and the ground. So here's what your assignment is now. You're going to do number 11 and number 12. So when you do your notes, do all the notes so far and then do these two questions. Remember, if you get stuck, you either email me or you hop onto our WebEx meetings at 1 o'clock. I haven't seen anybody for a long time, so it would be nice to see some of y'all again. And I'm there from 1 to 2. Please make sure you're staying on top of your work.